All right, good morning, good morning. Welcome back for another recap video. Today was a much slower day than we've had the past couple of weeks, past 1 or 2 weeks. Much slower compared to the most previous days. But we did get some action here on CRNX. CRNX had a nice red to green here, higher price stock. But did give some opportunity for those who were willing to take some risk today. Definitely one of the riskier ones. It's a higher float. I believe this one did have a catalyst. I did have an offering at some point later in the day, at the end of the day. But we did have some news on this as well. Raises the price target after treatment results. So, pretty decent catalyst, but the float is 54 million shares outstanding. Well, shares outstanding is 54 million shares, so much bigger than what I usually like to trade. And you can kind of tell with the price action, we did have this nice frontside move, but, very choppy in the range. You definitely needed to be committed to just trading the range and not looking for that front side move, because you would have been getting, if you were getting in on the highs of these candles, you were taking paper cut after paper cut after paper cut, which kind of what happened to me. I think I'm actually small red on this one. It was actually also easy to borrow. CRNX was easy to borrow. I was like shorting it on accident, but down $1 in that one. So I didn't really trade it all that well. I couldn't really get in the groove on it. Couldn't really get a nice solid entry on it. I was looking for that continuation up to 30, but we never got it. We then had NBY, which was the one that I thought was going to be a nice one. I thought this was going to follow the trend of what we've been seeing on EDBL, PALI, and all those other $1 or penny stocks have been ripping a couple dollars a share. I thought this would be following that trend. So I was ready to jump on it. And we had a nice move pre-market. I actually was able to catch a nice trade here for a nice solid quick profits on the breakout. I didn't hold for the next move higher. I sold up in this first green candle and then kind of went a little bit more without me. Kind of consolidated a little bit, and I was waiting for that gap and go trade, which we did see. We can pull up the archives. No, that's not it. Can pull up this here just to review the gap and go trade. I didn't catch this trade on video here. I usually don't like to record pre-market. I just like to record the open, because if I record pre-market, not a lot of times I trade end up trading pre-market, so it's just kind of like a waste of recording that I just end up deleting. But yeah, most of the time I just trade the open, not really so much pre-market, unless there's a nice good setup that we had here at NBY for this nice breakout. But I didn't have a chance to hit record. Anyways, NBY, here we go. I just did my one share just to test the fills, are the fills going to be delayed? Are they quick? Whatnot. So I do that. And, fills are good now. So now I'm waiting for my next entry. Here I want to be buying a dip. I'm looking for the dip and a pop higher at the open. This has some really decent volume. The volume on this is 1.2 million right now. First 1 minute candle, pretty decent. This is kind of what you want to see for a $1 stock. 1.5 million now. Inch a little higher, inch a little higher, inch a little higher. I don't really want to chase this right here, right out in the open. I want to wait for that first pullback and see if it does hold or if it flushes back below the open price. I want to judge the sentiment on the stock. So it's not that strong from what I can see. Got good volume. Here comes the dump for the green to red trade. It does hold the lows, so I did put in that trade for that pop back up, but we didn't see it immediately. So I got back out just to avoid any risk, unnecessary risk. I'm trying to catch that low. I see it's holding, but it doesn't. The buyers don't step in. So I did take break even trade there. There I go. I got back in at 110. Let's take a look at that. So got back in at 110. So I'm looking at that level 2 there. If you take a look at the level 2, we did have a big buyer at 110. So I was hoping that would hold, which we did see that hold a little bit. I took that off for a 1 cent gain. So 1% gain, not too bad for a $1 stock. We're dealing with the $1 stock here. That's, gotta remember that. You know, a couple cents, 5 cents is a home run on a $1 stock. So just staying patient here and seeing what has to offer. I'm still looking for that move back up to high a day. So I'm in at 112. What did I see in the tape here? Okay, so you see right there, you had a shift in the level 2 around the low in the support area. We have a nice stack on the 12, and the 13s are thinning out. So I jumped in. 13 still somewhat strong. Now we're moving a little bit. I take that off for a 1.4 cent gain. 500 shares, so not too big, not too big. And here I was looking for, you know, we could have waited for that dump a little lower because you could have got that panic flush dip buy, which is usually a really nice trade, but sometimes you don't get it. And this time we did not get that panic dip buy at the open. This time we held the support. Now we're going to curl up and squeeze out the shorts. So now if you're short here in this candle, the first 1 minute candle, now we're curling back up over 115. Over 115, that's a sign of strength. It's a sign of strength. We're reclaiming this topping tail. Anyone who's short right now is going to be looking to cover for a break even or a small loss. So I'm in 1,500 shares. I just want to catch the break of this tip of this candle. That's it. Now I'm in 2,500 for the break. Got that break of that candle. Now I'm taking some off. Want to manage my risk. It's going a little bit more without me, but that's okay. You know, don't want to be just blindly buy into a really strong green candle like that at the highs. Try to get off on the ask there. Didn't get off on the ask. So I sold there for that last part. A little bit lower than I would like to. Now it's really, is this going to hold and run to the highs? If it's going to hold the lows and run to the high, then I'm going to want to get back in and then add again into the highs. But we didn't see that. So that's why I didn't get back in really aggressively for that move back to the high. Here, this was it. It had to have broken this next 1 minute candle, the topping tail here, and just squeeze to the high. I was like, it's going to go, it's going to go, it's going to go. And we just could not hold the highs there. We just could not hold the highs. It was just very thick up there, so didn't really have that momentum. Now we're coming back down, and you know, I don't want to get in this until I see strength again. If you can't hold those highs, it's got to hold above this topping tail. It seems like shorts are maybe adding into there rather than covering at this point, or they're adding back. If it was a panic, this thing would already be at the highs breaking out. Sometimes you get that dip like here and then holds the 90 MA and then curls back up. Sometimes you do get that. So I was kind of fishing for the low there. If it holds that 115 level, you know, that previous breakout spot, before we reclaim that wick, you know, that could be a sign of support, but like we're not really holding that too well. I want to see, you know, strength coming in, a bottoming tail forming, but we never really see it. Once it starts testing now 110, this is bearish right here. Underneath VWAP bearish. Longs are stopping out there into a halt down. So that's it. That put NBY off the charts. You know, not really interested in that unless it makes a really strong move back over VWAP. And that was it for NBY. That was it. That one green candle that had a small little short squeeze, and then from there, not really much strength. So then CRNX started trading. I was trading on this real small size. I just wasn't really in my wheelhouse. Look how just choppy this is. Like up, down, up, down, up. You got to be looking to trade the range, and that's it. If you're looking for the highs, which sometimes, like I was looking to just really size into a nice breakout, like looking to size in here, you know, add 5, then add 10, add 20, add 50, get into like a nice 100, 200 share position, and then look for the breakout from the break of 30 and maybe see a front side, but we just never got it. So I just never really sized up on it. And that's okay. You know, I had that one nice trade on NBY, and that's what it's about. Like if you can, on these slow days, if you can get that one nice trade and you're up, today I'm up 118, at the high I was up like 122. You know, that's what it's about. I mean, this small day, these colder days, you really can't do much. And the best thing to do is just get that one nice setup, just nail it, and then walk away. And today I had that nice one trade. Average win was $10, average loss was $1, so 10-to-1 risk reward today. Nice profit margin. Did not get back a lot off the top. Only lost 17 on the day. Made 135, so it gives me a net profit of 118. After fees, that's probably about 116. Accuracy is about 50-50, so 13 winners, 13 losers. Got some scratches in there. So it's really not all about, you know, the accuracy. It's about waiting for that one setup, recognizing that A+ setup, and then sizing in to the best of your account size, I guess. I mean, if you're on a smaller account, you know, you don't want to be putting your entire account in it, but you know, you want to be relatively on a bigger size in that trade, and that just comes with experience. And that's the secret of successful trading, is identifying the A+ setups versus the C setups and adjusting your share size to have bigger size on your A+ setups and smaller size on your C setups. I thought this was a pretty decent setup. It did have a lot of potential if it did break out. You know, could have been definitely a home run day, but it just didn't work out like that. And I was able to take my small gains and walk away and not, you know, get frustrated and you know, be happy with what I got. So so far for the month, I'm doing okay. So definitely want to keep it up. Yeah, very consistent in the month of September. If we can see a little more action, that would be definitely nice, because then I can size in some decent momentum. But for right now, I'm okay with just having one solid trade a day. You know, trade the best setup of the day and walk away. I thought NBY, this breakout was pretty decent. I thought this was maybe like an A quality setup. That breakout was like an A quality setup right here. And then we also had, I would say this was close to an A quality setup, A- quality setup for those gap and go momentum traders, getting in off the support level, taking profits into the area where the shorts are supposed to be stopping out for a break even or stopping out for a small loss. So yeah, it's all about analyzing that chart, recognizing both sides of the equation, the shorts and the longs, and being able to capitalize on the opportunity. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in for the recap video. Thanks for coming back to the videos. I know I took a long break, but here I am back making these videos fresh as ever. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the links down in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.